This is like the most positive interview about the Canadian healthcare system so far. Great, let's start. Could you introduce yourself and tell a little bit about your background?
Okay, my name is Jack Liang, and my background, I work as a freelance musician here in Vancouver. Okay, so I was playing badminton, and this was in Richmond at Ace Badminton Center, and then when I jumped and landed, my knee kind of gave out, and then I tore my MCL and ACL.
You went to the emergency?
Yes, I did go to the emergency, but it was around midnight at the time, so I had to wait until the next morning to see a doctor. Okay, so after I saw the ER doctor, they ordered X-ray scans for me, and then there was no issue with bone, so there was no fracture or anything. They kind of had an idea what it is, but I needed an MRI to confirm, and the MRI, they could not do it that day, so I had to go home and wait for it to get scheduled.
And how long was the wait time?
For the MRI, I think it was about 2 weeks. But yeah, so the MRI was about 2 weeks, so they confirmed that I had torn ligaments. And then I was referred to the specialist, I guess, and that, I think it was about 4 to 6 weeks before I saw the specialist for the first time. So about 2 months after my initial injury.
And during that time, did they do anything with your knee?
Nope, just sent me home on crutches, and that was it.
No cast or anything?
No cast, no brace. I got my brace, so I had one of those sports braces that I had myself. I was wearing that until I went to see the specialist for the first time. That's when he fitted me for a knee brace.
So how did this long wait time impacted you? Did you feel like your knee was getting worse or anything?
I don't think it was getting worse, but the recovery definitely could have been faster. Even just telling me to go see physio and whatnot, nobody really told me to go see a physio, even though I should have, until the second specialist I saw. I saw 2 different specialists. So the first one, the first one I saw about 4 to 5 times. It started every other week, and then I think every 3 weeks. So I tore both my MCL and my ACL. They knew the ACL needed surgery, but they had to wait for the MCL to heal before they can work on the ACL. But what I didn't know, and they kind of didn't tell me, was that during the recovery phase of the MCL, I was supposed to go see a physio. And nobody kind of told me that, so it delayed my recovery. So I should have been seeing a physio, I think around October, November, but I didn't actually end up going to one because nobody told me until February or March. So by that time, my muscles had kind of deteriorated more than they should have, whereas I could have been working a little bit on keeping my muscles from deteriorating so much.
So how long was it between your initial injury till the surgery?
A year and a week.
Oh wow, that's longer than I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, when the MCL was healing, they kind of just left it. And then after the MCL was healed, the first specialist referred me to the second specialist, and that was around Christmas time, so there was a bit of a wait. And then by the time they got back to me to schedule an appointment and everything, it was February, March-ish. And then when he saw me that time, that's when I got on the wait list for surgery. And then the wait list, I guess that was March until August.
Till August?
Yeah.
That's quite a while.
Yes.
you know that Canadian healthcare actually provides you with the money if you need to go do your surgery?
I did not know that.
You can apply for the money.
Oh.
Basically, if you go to like Mexico or whatever and do the surgery because you're on a wait list and the surgery is like, you know, quite urgent, somewhat.
During the surgery day, it was very straightforward. I had one of the earlier times, so there was like, I think my surgery was like 8 or 8:30, so it was like the first or second one of the day. So there wasn't a lot for it to go wrong yet. Although, I was the second one because the first one did get delayed a little bit. But it was very straightforward. The pre-op was very clear. Everything was explained to me well in advance. When I saw the specialist in March, they already explained all the procedures of what to do before the day of the surgery in terms of fasting, cleaning the skin, all that stuff. And then the day of the surgery, went in, they took all their tests, blood pressure tests, heart rate, all that stuff, the normal stuff. And then I got wheeled into, I walked into the surgery room, put a cup on me, and I fell asleep, and I woke up with a repaired ACL.
Cool. Was that whole procedure covered under Medicare?
Yes, I didn't have to pay anything for the entire time.
Oh, not even for medications and stuff?
I did have to pay for painkillers, Tylenol 3 after my surgery. That was about it, and I had to pay for the knee brace. But in terms of everything else, they didn't really give me any other medication. When I first went into the ER, they gave me Tylenol and Advil. But coming out of the ER, I was just taking over-the-counter Tylenol and Advil, is what they told me. So that, I guess, paid for myself. Part of the prescription, Tylenol 3 was covered, I believe. I did have to pay a little bit.
What were some of the challenges for you when you're like navigating through the system?
In terms of, it's just the general wait time. That was the only thing. But in terms of the process, it was very clear. Every step of the way, what is happening. Well, I guess they forgot to tell me to go to physio, but in terms of what I'm waiting for, so I knew what I was waiting for. I knew that after coming out of the ER, I was waiting for an MRI. After the MRI, I was waiting for the first specialist, and then with that, I was waiting for my MCL to get healed, and then after that, referring to the surgeon, and then just the wait list for the surgery. So in terms of what was coming up next, it was pretty clear.
How would you rate the Canadian healthcare system?
7, 8 out of 10.
That's the highest so far.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, other than the wait time, there really isn't anything, like wait time is going to happen, right, with any kind of free healthcare system.
That's true. That's really, really good. This is like the most positive interview about the Canadian healthcare system so far.
Telemedicine, not a fan of it. I mean, it's convenient, but like a lot of times, at least with my situation, a lot of had to do with physical examination, which you can't really tell on Zoom, right? I had one telemedicine. I had one meeting with my surgeon the very first time, and basically all he could do was kind of see what my progress is in terms of flexibility, but he wasn't able to do a physical exam, and that was the important thing for that. Like a lot of times even during my physio, a lot of times I would go in and my physio would be like, oh, you're not quite doing this movement properly, that I don't know if they would be able to catch on telemedicine.
Oh, that's true.
Like I think with physical recovery, it's important to have in person. Whereas like if you're having a consultation, then I guess telemedicine's fine.
How much do you know about urgent care center?
Urgent care center? I've used walk-in clinics quite a bit.
Walk-in clinics and urgent care centers are
Yes, but Yes, I know about urgent care center, but I haven't had to use it. Some of them double as walk-in, especially once you're urgent.
Anything else to add?
Not really.
Okay, good.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.